Alright, let's dive into something that's been on my mind lately, the rise of filmmakers using pseudonyms, and how it's shaking up the cinematic world. I mean, think about it, in an industry where your name is your brand, why would someone choose to hide behind a moniker? That's exactly what Filmsaaz and Neozoon are doing, and their work at the Locarno Film Festival is making waves. But here's the thing, this isn't just about anonymity. It's about rebellion, identity, and the power of art to challenge norms. First, let's talk about Filmsaaz. Personally, I think what makes this really interesting is the intentionality behind the name. It's not just a random alias, it's a blend of Farsi words for filmmaker and music. From my perspective, this is a deliberate rejection of traditional identity markers, gender, culture, religion. Filmsaaz, whose real name is Saleh Kashifi, is essentially saying, I don't want to be defined by the labels society gives me. And in a world where identity politics are so charged, that's a bold statement. What many people don't realize is that this isn't just about personal freedom, it's a political act. By shedding their birth name, Filmsaaz is redefining what it means to be an artist in a globalized world. Now, let's talk about their film, Ãsheghetam. The title itself is fascinating, it's an intense way of saying I love you, but it literally translates to I am your lover. What this really suggests is a deep, almost desperate, need for connection in the face of chaos. The film is set during a Tehran rave disrupted by morality police and the outbreak of war. Here's where it gets even more intriguing, the protagonist retreats into a romantic illusion with their partner as a way to survive the brutality outside. If you take a step back and think about it, this isn't just a love story, it's a commentary on how Iranian youth cope with hopelessness. Filmsaaz calls it a defense mechanism, and I think that's spot on. It raises a deeper question, how do we find beauty and love in a world that feels increasingly cynical? What makes Filmsaaz's work even more compelling is the urgency behind it. They started developing Ãsheghetam after the 12-day war between Iran and Israel, and they rushed to finish it because they felt it needed to be seen now. Locarno accepted a rough cut, which is rare, and that speaks volumes about the film's importance. In my opinion, this is what art should do, it should be timely, provocative, and unapologetic. Filmsaaz isn't just making movies, they're creating a dialogue about hope, despair, and the human condition. Now, let's shift gears to Neozoon, an eco-feminist art collective. Their short film, Together, is a 14-minute exploration of land ownership, individualism, and Eurocentric narratives. One thing that immediately stands out is their use of found footage and social media material. It's not just a stylistic choice, it's a critique of how we consume and interpret history. What many people don't realize is that the story of human development we're often told, settling down, claiming land, becoming individualistic, is a very specific, Eurocentric narrative. Neozoon is asking, what if there were other ways to live? What if eco-feminist perspectives were the norm, not the exception? A detail I find fascinating is their focus on ants and together. Ants are masters of bridge building, surviving as a group. Neozoon uses this as a metaphor to challenge the individualistic narrative we've been sold. Personally, I think this is brilliant. It's not just about pointing out flaws in our society, it's about offering an alternative vision. What this really suggests is that the stories we tell about ourselves matter, they shape our future. Here's where it gets even more interesting, Neozoon doesn't call themselves activists, even though their work is undeniably political. They say a short film can't change the world, but it can ask questions. And in my opinion, that's exactly what art should do. It should make us uncomfortable, force us to rethink our assumptions. Neozoon's work isn't just about the environment or feminism, it's about how we perceive our place in the world. If you take a step back and think about it, both Filmsaaz and Neozoon are doing something radical. They're using pseudonyms to create art that challenges societal norms, and they're doing it in a way that feels both personal and universal. Filmsaaz is redefining identity, while Neozoon is reimagining history. What makes this really interesting is how their work intersects, both are questioning the stories we've been told and offering new ways to see the world. So, here's my closing thought, in a world where everything feels increasingly branded and commodified, artists like Filmsaaz and Neozoon remind us of the power of anonymity and the importance of questioning the status quo. Personally, I think we need more of this, more artists willing to take risks, challenge norms, and create work that feels urgent and alive. What do you think? Are pseudonyms the future of art, or just a passing trend? Let me know in the comments below.